This is BGNES English News.
Hello and welcome to the BGNES English News. I'm Millen Stamatov in BGNES Director's booth and in our studio in Sofia, Bulgaria. And let's crack on with the news. Today's news are plagued with scandals. First, a scandal with the Bulgarian refinery Lukoil, who apparently breached the EU embargo, the reactions of the politicians, and a special investigative report from Politico publication. Then we have brilliant news to counter the bad one from NASA. Bulgaria joined the Artemis Accords. And as a final, Bulgarian team of Ludogorets managed to beat Fenerbahce in the clash of football grands of the Balkans last night. So now, without further ado, let's crack on with the news.
This is BGNES English News.
The news of last night and today is a raging scandal about Lukoil. The breaking news is making waves across Europe and across the pond. Bulgarian oil refinery Lukoil has shipped high-sulfur fuel oil directly to the Netherlands, thus apparently breaching the EU embargo. The analysis, co-authored by Global Witness, the Bulgarian Center for the Study of Democracy, and the Center for the Study of Energy and Clean Air, highlights that Russian oil company Lukoil has generated a revenue exceeding 1 billion euros in 2023 through the exportation of fuels beyond the borders of Bulgaria. In one of the cases in the report, a direct export of high-sulfur fuel oil to the Netherlands was observed. In another instance, the cargo of a separate vessel was subsequently relocated in close proximity to Malta, followed by a subsequent transfer to the Bahamas, ultimately resulting in the arrival of 10,000 tons of fuel oil in the United States. The European Commission is initiating an inquiry against Bulgaria in relation to the actions of Lukoil. And now let's see the reaction of the Bulgarian politicians. The reaction of Bulgarian politicians followed swiftly. New proposal from GER political party to remove the derogation for Lukoil. From We Continue the Change political party, they said they seek an audit of all deals. Let's see the details. Delian Dobrev, a member of parliament from GER political party, will make a new proposal to end the exemption for Russian oil immediately. All derogation period Lukoil transactions were to be investigated, insisted We Continue the Change Democratic Bulgaria's member of parliament Radoslav Rybarsky. An investigation in German publisher Axel Springer's publication Politico showed that the European Commission would examine Bulgaria after it became obvious that the Russian business Lukoil took advantage of loopholes in EU sanctions to earn 1 billion euros for the Kremlin's military requirements.
И се тръщна там и каза, че ще блокира всички санкции към Европейската комисия, ако те не дадат дерогация за България. Ние твърдим, че по този начин се заобикалят санкциите и резултатите са на...
Now it's time for the world news. And minutes ago, we managed to get a special report live from Istanbul. This is our international correspondent Dimitar Ruskov, who is there on a special occasion. Let's see his direct report about the events.
This is BGNES English News. This is BGNES English News.
Hello Millen, hello from Istanbul, one of the most famous and most beautiful cities in the whole world, and especially in the Balkans, of course. Today, Turkey honors Kemal Atatürk on the 85th anniversary of his death. Behind me you can see his face, of course. The Turkish people are paying tribute to the father of the Turks, as he is famous. Flags decorate the whole of Istanbul in one with giant portraits of Mustafa Kemal Atatürk, who on November 24th, 1934, was adopted by the Turkish parliament with this name, Father of the Turks. This morning, when we crossed the border, sirens blew across the whole country and national flags were lowered halfway, of course. Kemal was the founder of the republic, and he's remembered in history not only as a great leader and a great statesman, but also a great friend of Bulgaria. His biggest love of his life was a Bulgarian girl, which was the daughter of a Bulgarian general. Kemal died in 1938 at the age of 57, and traditionally every November 10th, Turks visit Atatürk's mausoleum in Ankara, that's the capital of Turkey, and they pay their respects to him. Tomorrow I will be sending you a lot of interesting photos, a lot of interesting videos, and a lot of important interviews. And I hope that we can show you the beauty of Istanbul.
This is BGNES English News.
This is how we started the world news in our special edition of BGNES English News. Now let's move to the most important from around the globe. The first news is connected with UAE. United Arab Emirates curbs re-export of EU products to Russia. This is according to Bloomberg agency. To prevent them from being used in the conflict in Ukraine, the United Arab Emirates has decided to restrict the re-export of vital products from the European Union to Russia. Bloomberg states this using their own sources. The agency claims that Turkey is thinking of taking similar action. Along this way, we're moving to the Gaza conflict. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said his country was not seeking to conquer, occupy, or rule Gaza after the war against Hamas, but a credible force would be needed to enter the Palestinian territory if necessary to prevent any threats from the group's fighters. Netanyahu's comments this week, suggesting that Israel would be in charge of security in Gaza indefinitely, drew a pushback from the United States, Israel's main ally. Washington said it would oppose Israel's post-war occupation of the Gaza Strip, where Israel is waging a bombing campaign to destroy the enclave's ruling Hamas, after militants rampaged through southern Israeli municipalities on October the 7th, in an attack that Israel said killed more than 1,400 people. Now let's move to much more positive news. Bulgaria joins 31 other countries and signs the Artemis Accords at NASA's headquarters. That happened last night, and BGNES was among the first who reported the news. NASA's administrator, Bill Nelson, pictured, signed the Artemis Accords with Bulgaria's Minister of Innovation and Growth, Milena Stoicheva, on Thursday. She's also pictured. Bulgaria was the 32nd country to do so. As part of NASA's Artemis program, the Artemis Accords set up a useful set of rules for countries that want to work together on space research. NASA's Deputy Administrator, Pam Melroy, the Ambassador of Bulgaria to the United States, and Sonata Coulter, Deputy Assistant Secretary for the U.S. Department of State, were also at the event at NASA's headquarters in Washington, D.C. And now to one amazing news from the world of sports. Bulgarian football club Ludogorets pulled off a stunning upset in the Bulgarian town of Razgrad, their base, defeating rivals Fenerbahce, a very famous Turkish football ground. One of the strongest European evenings for Ludogorets in recent years was recorded. In their fourth Group H Conference League encounter, the Eagles from Razgrad upset the division-leading Fenerbahce. Both Jakub Piotrovski and Ruan Seko, who came on as a substitute, scored to give Ludogorets a 2-0 victory. That was a great end of the news section of our BGNES English News. Now it's time to see what the weather is going to be like tomorrow. And this is coming from our AI presenter, the marvelous and very professional Olivia Smith. So let's see the weather report for tomorrow.
News Weather Report. I am Olivia Smith, your personal weather watcher and weather reporter. The upcoming weather in Bulgaria for November 11th, 2023. Western and northern areas experience gusty winds. On Saturday, the country will be buffeted by strong winds. North of the mountains, you'll feel like you're being blasted with a blow-dryer by the moderate to strong southwesterly wind with gusts of 20-25 meters per second. Western and northeastern Bulgaria are under an orange code warning as winds of up to 32 meters per second are expected. Yellow is the signal for the remainder of Bulgaria. Expect lows between 5 and 10 degrees Celsius. Expect a low of about 6 degrees in Sofia. Most of the day will be marked by heavy cloud cover, and rain is likely in several areas, especially the western Bulgarian mountains. In Sofia, highs will hover around 15 degrees, still rather warm for the region. After midday, a wind change to the west-northwest will bring chilly air to eastern Bulgaria. The clouds will start to part and thin out in the evening from the northwest. This was the weather report of BGNES for November 11th, 2023. I am Olivia Smith. Thanks for watching.
Well, thanks, Olivia, for this intriguing weather report for tomorrow. That was all from us at the BGNES headquarters in Sofia, Bulgaria. For the BGNES English News, I'm Millen Stamatov, and I would like to wish you a pleasant weekend. Make sure to catch us next week for more news from Bulgaria and the world. Until then, wishing you a pleasant weekend. We remain in Bulgaria to watch the news for you. Have a brilliant day and a brilliant evening, wherever around the world you are. Goodbye.
This is BGNES English News.